Welcome to the first day of competition here at the 2024 Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall with Rich Telford here on Go Sports. And the first battle that's going to go down in the prelims in the professional division, 20 teams, around 200 pro players, the best teams in the world, are about to do battle. It's going to be Aftershock taking on Notorious and the LA Ironmen taking on Infamous. That's a legendary battle. Two teams that have been around for years, and what an amazing story as Todd Adamson has reinvigorated and brought back another legendary team, one of the longest running teams ever to do it, Chicago Aftershock. And playing a relatively new team in Notorious. Notorious down a couple starters as well, too, so we'll see what they have. So on paper, got to give the advantage to Aftershock. Rich, what do you think Notorious needs to do here on this pretty chaotic layout? I mean, we'll see how chaotic it actually is going to be. It's a blind layout. No one got to play it. We had every single player from the Pro League out here walking it last night. It was very interesting. We're about to see point number one. Shock, Notorious. Notorious on the blue side, Shock on the red side, and on the breakout, looks like Shock's going to run Parrish all the way to D2 off the break, and he makes it clean. Now, we thought that this was going to be a little bit of a bloodbath on the break on this field layout, but Rich, looks like 5-on-5.
Yeah, and everyone, and they're in D3 is Aftershock, and Notorious is in this 50 snake already, Matt. Notorious losing their first body and drawing a penalty. That's one of the new guys that they picked up. They're going to struggle a little bit with these new guys trying to figure out the pro curve.
Well, that's Magic. That's one of the best players in Europe. But, yeah, so first point, first penalty definitely is going to cost Notorious because I haven't seen anybody who's walking off.
Yeah, 5-on-2 Aftershock advantage here as LJ Parrish goes into Notorious' side of the field on the D side.
Yeah, Parrish in a really good spot. They are going to be losing their first body, so that's a bad death over here on the D side to Thomas Kim. Then Clay Hughes is going to run down Johnson, and Parrish is able to scurry his way through on that D side. So a little bit of help for Aftershock with that penalty assessed on Magic for Notorious, but Shock looked pretty good. I mean, the only death that shouldn't have happened was, I think, Thomas Kim in that backfield.
Interesting seeing, like you said, though, 5 guys making a live from both sides, right? Because there's no back center. Everybody's basically running and shooting.
On the echo.
Yep, in the pits here with Shock. So it looked like Clay Hughes drew the start. That was going to be a question. So they were going with Hosky, Ryan Hoskinson, but Hosky wasn't getting it done midway through the day, Rich, and he was making some mistakes out there.
He had some good points.
Yeah, he played in Texas. He played well for him. He got the start.
Yeah.
But he started making those mistakes you can't make in that position, so they had to go to Hughes.
I think there's a little bit too much Malloy for him. You know what I mean? That's a tough battle.
It's tough, but you want to win the tournament. That's the guy you got, man. That's the job.
I talked to him about it this morning. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, first shot both times. I'm like, yeah, don't gunfight that dude. Just hide. Let him get close and then bunker him out.
So now Ironman and Infamous take the field here in this split deck format. And you can see just a tiny little cake in that backfield, the smallest bunker in the bunker set. So we're going to have another 5-on-5 break, and it looks like we don't. So body dropping for the Ironman, it's Tom Guest. He takes the walk.
Callie gets a bounce, but is alive. No, he is eliminated. So 4-on-4, Matty. Oh, does Ironman go through? Trade out another 3-on-3, Matty.
Nice little trade. That was Nita. Yeah. No, that wasn't Nita.
That's the new kid, right?
Well, Nita plays on Shock now, so many changes. Yeah, that's the new kid. I heard really good things from Shane about this new kid.
Said him this morning. Seems like a nice kid.
Yeah, they said Shane thinks he might be one of the fastest guys in the league. We will see.
Faster than you? I doubt that. I doubt that very seriously.
These days, absolutely.
I would hope so.
My 3-year-old's faster than me right now. But look at this, though. Ryan Hall getting into a good spot. So this is going to be a pretty crucial position. You can kind of see the way that the snake beam funnel into that 50, that hurts brick. Little reposition as looks like Henry Sense is going to get smoked, trying to get out wide.
Well, talking to a lot of smart guys last night about paintball, like we always do, a lot of us kind of agree that there's going to be a lot of 3-on-3 island ball kind of situations on this field as people kind of learn how to develop and get past the breakout.
Well, Ryan Hall just ate up
2 bodies, right?
Yeah, 2 bodies right there. So nice point here for Ryan Hall. Also that D side. Great job for Infamous. But yeah, I agree with you. A lot of the conversations, I actually saw Ryan Hall yesterday when we were at dinner. We were at the same restaurant, him and Brett Messer, so we had a pretty decent long talk about the field and the team and how everything's going. And we said the same thing. When you have a chaotic, a field that could, because there is no back center and there's a lot of open lanes, we could see a lot of times where you just have to play that scramble paintball where there is no game plan anymore.
Yeah.
You just have to play paintball. So, the guys that have been doing this for years and have, proven they can win tournaments, probably going to excel in a situation where you have a blind layout, so you can't just practice it point after point for, an entire weekend, play multiple games on it. And Ryan Hall just showed us how it's done. He was pretty confident when we discussed things yesterday, and rightfully so. Great point from Ryan Hall.
Yeah.
And Sam Silberg, I believe, over there on that D side. This could be a really good D side for Sam Silberg. Let's listen in real quick.
I was getting checked. Hey, Tom, listen, Tim, Joe, Nate, Ryan Hall's EP. So I did the Denver cross. Yeah. I realized that Tom was also doing the Denver. Right, guys. So I went like this. Oh fuck. Zach, Nate, Ryan, Tim.
Hey, Snake guys, Zach. Yeah. Once you get in the actual knuckles, the shadows are terrible. You just see all of them. Yeah. I crept in there, nobody saw me. He just shoot the edge. You just see the shadow. Hey, did we just kill him?
A little bit of a technical timeout being called here, so
that's a good kill. That's a good kill.
Still in the pits with Infamous.
Yeah, teams are coming off the field, so it might be a big technical timeout.
Well, the one thing that's interesting, too, so we're listening to this conversation that Infamous is having, and since it's a blind layout, I mean, everyone's having these little micro conversations about very specific angles. You're going to see lots of those go down here, even more than we're going to normally see.
Constantly, right?
Yeah, because this is literally that's the first point they played on this field, and we've only seen 2 points played. So everyone's trying to figure out what's working, what's not, what's going to be the most efficient way to attack. Can we defend it if we're down bodies? Another interesting story for Infamous is they have a new rookie on their team. Might have heard of him before, Andy Copcock.
There used to be a guy in Canada called Andy Copcock. Andy 1, Andy 2, or Andy 3?
All three of them.
Wow.
What's also interesting.
That is scary.
So we played with Andy back in the day, and he's a legendary player, but they brought him back. He's been playing a lot of 10-mans and just feasting at the 10-mans, and he's still got his speed, still has his athleticism. He's 48 years old
People
now.
were asking me how old he was. I was like, I think like mid-40s. And like, no, he's got to be 50. I was like, Man, I'd pick up Andy in a heartbeat. That kid's an amazing paintball player.
Yeah, but it's just what's funny, too, is that, when you don't play, your ranking slowly diminishes over time. And so he's currently ranked D3, which
the best D3
to me
player
is
in the
hilarious because we've won pro tournaments with Andy. But
gotta be the best D3 player in the world.
Great guy and a great player. And it just love hearing stories like that because, if you're out there and you haven't played in a couple years, you probably can still do it, man. It really is like riding a bike. The perishable skill is the snapshot. Your accuracy on your snapshot's that's gonna go away after some time. But the second you pick that gun up,
rest falls off.
All of those pathways you built up in your brain by playing tournament paintball over the years, it comes right back. And we keep seeing like Ryan Rodarte is playing on Houston Heat now. So, and it's still on this technical timeout. But it was funny too. Talked to Ryan yesterday a little bit. He's stoked to be on Heat. And then I talked to Pat McKenna, one of their coaches with Ryan Smith, and he had said, I was like, well, how'd you get Rodarte? He's like, well, we kind of compiled a list of old pros that would, kind of fit the bill. And we just started talking through it, and we were like, what about Ryan Rodarte? So we gave him a call. So then and he's like, yeah, absolutely, man, let's do it. And then I talked to Ryan. He's like, man, I'm happy to be back. I'm like, well, how was your break from the game? He's like, got a job, made some money, and now I'm back, I'm like, okay, man, that's awesome.
It's called being an adult. We all have to do it at some point, unfortunately.
Okay, looks like things are sorted as the teams are now coming back out here. And we got LJ Parrish there on your screen. Had a real good first one. So, yeah, with this, because this is a lot of names we're very familiar with, but and obviously the name itself, Aftershock, legendary team, but then they went and picked up a bunch of seasoned pros. But the one issue for their starting line that's not solidified, essentially, is the Snake.
Yeah.
So right now it looks like it's going to be Hughes. Nita is hurt, so he's probably not going to see the field. So they're going to have to go with Hughes or Hosky, most likely. Could switch. Maybe they saw Parrish in there a couple points yesterday, but just disastrous break here for Notorious as 2 bodies come off early, though.
Well, I think Shock lost 2 also, Matt. Referee's running in, going to get a penalty, so Shock actually lost 3, Matty.
Yeah, they lost 3, and it looks like A-Rod is going to reposition. He's going to dive in the snake. Johnson's going to run. Oh, they're going to trade? They're going to trade. I mean, I'm surprised that A-Rod was even able to trade with Johnson.
One-on-one? Nope. Notorious is going to win this point.
Wow. This is one that Shock's going to want back, because they did lose 1 body on the break, so it should have been a 4-on-3 in favor of Shock, but that penalty cost them. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, even the Notorious player we're watching, he's just being extra careful and scanning the field because all those bodies came off so quick. So smart finish here from Sherman. That's always a fun one, too, when it's a giant bloodbath.
Chaos.
But then you're looking around and you're kind of looking around, still alive. Oh, God.
Am I the guy? Am I the guy alive?
Yeah, guess it's going to be me. All right, perfect.
Can't believe I didn't get shot right there.
Don't have to win a one-on-one to win this point. Perfect.
Perfect.
Now we're in the pits. So there's Clay Hughes. He's got his pack off right now, but probably going to be their go-to guy today, potentially. I'm sure we're going to see Hosky again at some point. Have these guys fight for that starting spot. There's Hosky right there. Talking to, looking at the Tom Martinez. He's on the clipboard. So about to jump into this next point here.
Infamous breaking up from the red side, Ironman from the blue side.
Yeah, so new pickup, Brody Lewis for the Ironmen. Hearing really good things from the coaching staff of the Ironmen about this new kid.
4-on-5 advantage here for Infamous as Ironman lose their second attacker D side.
Yeah, Brussel back quick to attack on that D side and gets into that crucial wedge position.
Yeah.
I like how Infamous is playing this field. I mean, we've only got a couple points in here.
Yeah, they got the spots. They got the 50 hertz bunker on the snake side, and they got that wing on the D side. Also, 1-body advantage here, Matty.
Oh, but Brusselback loses a gunfight on that side, and he's forced to take the walk. Nate Schrader still alive. They got a little 2-pack of bodies over here on the snake side. You're looking at one of them right there, matched up. We're going to see, just again, the way that this layout is, that funnel towards that 50 brick on the snake side, but a little bit better position with Schrader right behind. First attacker in the snake with Patient. Patient gets run down. Oh, did Schrader take one too? No, it looks like Schrader's good to go. Joe Barrett able to make it out to D1.
Infamous down to 2.
And Henry Sense, though, a little bit better field position as he's up at D2 for the Ironman.
Yeah, Ironman with 3, Infamous with 2. Kind of what we thought were going to happen here. A lot of 2-on-3, 3-on-3 type points here with bodies dying early. When you got 5 guys on both teams running and shooting on the break, it definitely creates a lot of chaos in the beginning of the point. It gets really hard to track how many bodies are alive left out there on your team and the other team. So the communication and teamwork is crucial.
Tom Guest sharking up the middle of the field, trying to figure out where these last bodies are. And those last bodies for Infamous D1 and the Aztec with, so it's Barrett and Ryan Hall trying to hold the line. Tom Guest trying to find the seam.
I was really impressed with Tom Guest yesterday when he went up the middle for those fast points.
He's getting really good.
Yeah, he was, and Shane's super impressed. And if Shane and Pax are impressed, then that goes a long way.
Well, I like he's aggressive, but he's very methodical while
like
he's
really
being
smart aggression. It's not just a show-off aggression. It's like, how can I use my aggression to win this point for the team?
When you could tell when you watch him play with his body language, there's Big Tom Guest on your screen. Tall guy too, so he can shoot angles a lot of guys can't shoot. Good off the break shot, but ideally when you have a player like Tom, so it's the quickness in his ability to put the variables together while he's pushing up the field with head checking, head on a swivel, playing on his toes, going forward.
Yeah.
And it's just been very impressive. He's cleaned up a lot of points for the Ironman. I think that Tom's going to have a real good career here.
Like a tall, athletic, short-haired Chris Lasoya.
Yeah, Tom, can we grow the hair out a little bit, man? What do you think?
Bring back the pony.
He's way taller than Chris Lasoya. Probably got Chris by
4 feet.
5 inches, 6 inches maybe. So tied up 1-1 here. Shock and Notorious, but
looks like Hossy's getting a spin.
Yeah, I think they have to, right? You got to have those 2 guys battle for that spot and see who's going to prevail.
Yeah, you got to give them opportunities. Notorious dropping a body on the snake side there, Matty. Everybody on their belly crawling forward on this snake side into the snake 50. We're going to see this all weekend long. Guys make that insert from the small temple into the wing, go from the wing right out to the Hertz bunker. As soon as they hear the other guy's gun going one way or the other, they just go trade out.
Yeah, Johnson trades out with Hosky, and this is why it's good to have a double stack of bodies up there, because
Yeah.
Magic's now going to crawl up. But here comes a big move as Nick Sloviak with a coast-to-coast run. He's going to be begging for a penalty, and he's going to get it. Major penalty. That's 2 penalties on Magic. He's got to clean it up a little bit here.
Yeah, that was a tight call, too. That guy's gun was kind of that way. He brought it up basically an inch, maybe 2 inches.
Well, they called that penalty on Billy yesterday in overtime.
Yeah.
So similar to a strike zone in baseball, if they're calling that outside strike, you got to swing at it. If they're calling those close bang plays penalties occasionally, you really got to start being careful. If you get run down and your gun's not completely up and already posted and pointed that way at that guy, don't pull the trigger.
Great read from A-Rod, though, going from the corner all the way and bunkering the guy at the 50 snake. With
that was Sloviak.
Oh, Sloviak. Sorry. Good job, Nick. Finally getting the vet in there for some spins. I like to see that.
Well, it's also good, too, because with the Shock's pretty deep roster, again, we're going to see both Clay Hughes and Hosky fighting for that first attacker on the snake side. But they have Al Fernandez. They got Nick Sloviak. I mean, they're
They
deep.
have depth, Matt. We call that depth.
Yeah, so, Nick needs, even though he's a vet and he's been around forever, been on some winning teams, he needs to go out and have good showings out there to continue to get reps, too.
Yep.
Looks like Keith DeVitt's going to get a spin here. So there's Lewis, Brody Lewis, brand new pickup for the Ironmen, and apparently a speed demon. 17 years old. And I talked to Shane about him yesterday. Thinks he's going to have a pretty bright future. Likes his aggression and his athleticism and his attitude. So it looks like Lewis going to take some ground, get into the snake here off the break.
5-on-5 for both teams. Infamous a little bit more of a defensive breakout, Matty. They're pushing D side. Ironman dropping their first attacker D side.
Yeah, Tom Guest getting shot trying to get out to D1, man. Yeah, it's, again, only a couple points in, and it has been a little chaotic on the break with some bodies dropping, but it's not every single point, Rich, so far.
Infamous is kind of giving up this left 50. They know the guy's in there. They're just counting on their gunfighting to stay alive. Now they're sending a player forward to go get him.
Yeah, this is
might be Ryan Hall.
Kind of have to do it. Yeah, Hall never scared to go. He's going to come around and dice up Lewis.
Oh, that may be Jonah. I think it was Jonah.
Was it? Oh, Jamrose?
Yep.
Good to see him back.
Yeah, Ironman 4 walking the same time for the Ironman.
Yeah, I'm
can't leave in clusters.
I mean, I was going to say I'm looking for a penalty flag on the ground, but it's not a penalty. It's Sam Silberg just cutting through the D side and just decimating the line of the Ironman. Nice job by Sam Silberg.
Well played, sir. Shock heading back out. Going to be starting this point from the blue side of the field.
Yeah, so Jonah Jamrose dealing with an injury for quite a while. Yeah, it looks like Andy got a spin.
20 seconds.
So there was Sam Silberg, hero of that last point. And that's going to go on the list. I mean, it wasn't a flashy move, but it did produce about 3 kills. Maybe, I don't think 4. I think he got about a 3-pack on that one. But, Pate Smith Law giving out $500 in the prelims and $1,000 on Sundays. And he's a paintball player, and his law firm specializes in representing his clients against your insurance company doesn't want to pay you for property claims, so he's doing God's work. So right now, Notorious making it to that important 50 here, snake side. Shock with the little baby 1-point lead to protect with bodies all across the back line, essentially, and in the snake, but Hosky going to get shot out there. Those are the deaths that Hosky can't have if he wants to
get a trade.
Yeah,
4-on-4.
But they do shoot Johnson on Notorious, though, so 4-on-4 situation, but...
Here goes A-Rod. A-Rod kind of throwing away his body there. Shock with snake corner, D corner.
Yeah, another body coming off. 2 more, actually. A body from the snake got shot, and then Marky Franz, who's dealing with a groin injury, he gets shot out of D1.
I think it's a 3-on-1 right now. Shock advantage with 2 on the D side, 1 in the snake corner. I only see 1 Notorious player. That's D2. Wheeling and dealing. He gets eliminated. Possible 3 on a nobody.
So, Shock starting to stack up some points here. Yeah, I mean, that point was initially looking pretty good for Notorious.
Yeah.
With the death of Hosky. And once Hosky got shot, they just had all back line. But then Notorious started losing too many gunfights.
Yep. And dinked out of their spots.
And when you're And that's the type of point that you need to prevail in. You know, if you just shot out their first attacker on the snake, you have position, and on your opponents are all stuck in the back line. You can't just start losing gunfights.
Well, the big mistake you see a couple teams making out here is they're dying in clusters, right? When you see someone die on your team, you got to pucker up, right? You got to start playing much tighter, much smarter. There's something going on you guys don't know about, and you got to make that adjustment before the other team can capitalize on that. Ironmen only having 4 on the box.
Oh, I don't think they got that.
Only
I don't think they. Yeah, the
3
referee's running them down. That's going to be a penalty. So a little bit of a mistake here from the Ironmen might cost them this point and allow Infamous to put up this third one. Yeah, they're immediately going to concede.
Yeah, Shane just concedes that point.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Paxton kill somebody in the pit right now. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see it. Somebody was supposed to be out there and didn't go out.
Yeah, so some sort of miscommunication in the pits cost the Ironmen a point and could be an important one.
In that bracket, 1 point is huge, man.
Yeah, this bracket is pretty nasty. It's Dynasty, Ironman, Impact, Infamous, and New York Extreme. We will see Impact and New York Extreme play next. Tampa Bay Damage and ML Kings also going to be in that set. But, you know, talking about which is the bracket of death, they're all pretty rough. I mean, with the parity in the league right now, there's really no weak teams. It's just, you know, whether a team you should or should not beat. But, you know, it's like New York Extreme was one of the top teams last year. And then you guys were beat up with injuries in the early part of the year, and now you're back at more closer to full strength. So if Extreme subs, when you're looking at the brackets, if Infamous is playing well, so if New York Extreme plays well, that bracket becomes incredibly difficult.
It's really hard, yeah. Very, very challenging. But that's what makes it so rewarding.
Split screen breakout here. Shock with a 2-point lead. These points are going fast, so a lot of time left. 11:35. Both teams going to be going right back into that attack on the snake.
Way more 5-on-5 breakouts than I thought we would see, Matty.
Well, Hosky runs down. Looks like, yeah, so an even trade. Thought for a second Hosky might have stayed alive, but so 4-on-4 situation. It's evened up on that D side, but Notorious first to jump a body back into that crucial snake spot, and it's going to be Johnson.
Matt. I think it's important to own that real estate, right? It's one of those things where you don't have to win that area, but you can't lose that area. You can't have another team with a body in there, and you guys don't have a body in there. So funneling bodies up into that key position is going to be very, very important.
Yeah, so they own a decent amount of the real estate. They're Notorious. They're outside wide. They desperately need this point because they're down 2. Again, lots of time left, but
they got 2 guys over here in the snake. Let's see if they can 2-on-1 the guy in front of him.
Well, Shock is back in it. Johnson does not know he's there. He hasn't touched the bunker. Here comes Thomas Tim. He runs around to trade out, but they still have another body over here. Notorious going to move up into snake 2.
A-Rod filling the snake corner for Aftershock, looking to get in the snake side.
Yeah,
both teams committing 3 bodies over to this 50 snake, Matty.
Yeah, Logan Dyer over here for Notorious on your screen. Snake 2, pump and paint inside.
Yeah, and one of the questions we were talking about when 1,000 of us were walking the fields yesterday is, you know, can you stay alive in that Dorito can, right, as the team starts to advance up both tapes?
Well, there are some pretty nice crossfield shots. You know, sometimes fields don't have. There's always going to be crossfield shots, but sometimes they're more potent than others. And talking, looks like A-Rod getting shot out, so that's going to give Notorious an opportunity here with Dyer.
Yeah, bad death.
So Dyer moves to the 50.
Looking to catch Corey there on the transition.
Yeah, Corey Hall had to transition to that back cake, but he wins a gunfight. That's a great shot from Corey Hall in a tiny position, but he ends up getting clipped while he engaged with Dyer, and it looks like Shock's going to also be losing Parrish, so
3-on-3 to 3-on-no one. Notorious, good point there.
Hayden sprinting in, going to get a check real quick. But, yeah, Hayden Burgess. Nice work over there. Yeah, so I think it was a combo of Burgess and Jared Sherman getting it done to keep Notorious in this match. So just a 1-point spread. Shock. A little bit of a rough go on that last point.
Are you hearing when they get to the Chicago?
In the pits right now with Notorious.
Yeah, I saw his shadow was standing up, and then that's why I waited a minute. Yeah.
You a shooter? I think so, yeah. Just do what you gotta do. You're good. Hey, you're a shooter, right?
No, that's what's so
You're good.
That's all we do. You know the S and
Yeah, and again, Notorious missing 3 of their core starters, so had to go to the well and grab a new body with Francisco.
5 live for both squads, Matt, as both teams crawl to that 50 snake.
And here comes the attack. Lewis comes through. Does not get his man, though.
That's a mistake. Ironman down 2, 5-on-3 advantage for Infamous.
Yeah, Jonah Jamrose living through that engagement here, trying to protect this 2-point lead.
Infamous pushing down the D side.
Tell you what, by the look of this, Rich, so far, I mean, we're only in set 1, but we could see a lot of points played on this layout.
Yeah, 5-on-2 advantage, Infamous here. Yeah, we could see a ton of points. Could be a long, long day.
Yeah, so advantage, Infamous.
Huge advantage, yeah. Because the 2 Ironman players are stuck in the pocket. One's in the back center. You cannot live in that back center when they're on both tapes rapping.
So they concede the point, as Tom guessed, and Sense just in, you know, rough spots because their outside wide bodies died.
Good point for Jonah there.
So now, see if Notorious can summon the spirit again.
30 seconds.
As we follow Jonah Jamrose back to the infamous pit.
Needed to call it 88 for that. Yeah. Call it 88 next time, because you would have fished him out quicker, maybe.
Hey, when you bumped that kid, dude, that was sick.
Dude, he just came through and didn't even hit you. He was like,
That was sick, dude.
Aftershock breaking up from blue side. Notorious in the red.
Yeah, going back to Hughes now. And, ooh, Parrish. Big outside and in route to D2, and he makes it clean.
Yeah.
As
Aftershock playing over there getting a check in the can.
Here comes
Got a hard bounce.
Yeah, so Francisco versus Clay here in the snake. Francisco rolls around. Referee going to come and check him out. Hughes going to run the inside route, blasts him, but it cost him his body, but that guy had to die.
2-on-4 advantage Aftershock.
Yeah, Shock with a couple moves outside and then now up into snake 1. And there's no one in front of him. So, yeah, Notorious is going to concede the point to preserve the time. They just had those 2 bodies on the D side, the snake getting destroyed. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of points on this field.
At least halfway through the day, right? Sunday might be a different story. But this morning, with no one knowing the field, everybody kind of reading, reacting as they go, it's going to be fast.
Well, I think this afternoon, once everyone kind of figures the field out a little bit, you know, the blessing of, you know, mornings are great.
Yeah, I love the morning.
Get it over with. It's not as hot.
Watch.
Yeah, and then you can watch some games. But right now, I'd rather have afternoon bracket.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because then you get to watch some of these games and kind of figure out what's working, what's not.
Even having the second match versus the first match, as in New York, I'm like, hey, that's a big advantage, guys. At least we get to see one team play the field.
Yeah.
Because everything is just conjecture, right? We're all just guessing about stuff.
Yeah, and on paper, I mean, right now, Infamous is a 3-point lead. I thought this was going to be a blow-for-blow battle because the Ironmen, they looked pretty good yesterday. They went undefeated in the prelims in Texas, and right now, Infamous' aggression, Ironmen just have not really had an answer.
They're not playing the field right.
Well,
Ironmen are playing out of the back line, and this is not a black line field.
Well, they're also losing too many bodies, and not even off the break necessarily. They're losing too many gunfights, and Infamous is just staying alive and playing a little bit more aggressive. Ryan Hall's had some good points. Silberg's had some good points.
Yeah, 4-on-3 advantage here for Infamous.
Jonah, yeah, Infamous looks like they've got this field. And every time we cut to the pitch, you see Travis Lemansky's at the clipboard trying to figure all these different variables out. Right now, 3-on-4 situation, as you're saying here, and they got that important 50 bunker in the snake looking inside. No one on that D side, so he's got a lot of breathing room in there. Yeah, and he's got his body out wide here for Infamous, so.
Ironmen need to get a key elimination here. They missed the gap from Dorito 1 to Dorito 2. Oh, no, they caught Callie. Callie's taking the walk. That's the kill they needed, Matty. 3-on-3 now.
Well, Brusselback just moved into the snake.
Right behind Jonah.
So if Brusselback can get a shot in on Geiger in the snake, Geiger's got a body right behind him too.
Yeah.
Right beside him.
Yeah. The Ironmen have 3 guys over here in the package on the snake side. Infamous has 3 guys in the package over here snake side. Should be very interesting to see how this plays out. Everybody's mirrored up in the same spots. But, of course, we know that there's no one on the D side. We're not sure if Ironman or Infamous know there's no one on the D side because a lot of people point their guns that way.
Well, Brett Messer is at the Aztec, and he's got a huge voice. And I think they're trying to figure that out right now. But here comes Lewis. Lewis does get the drop in.
Oh, he gets them
Snake.
both.
I don't think so. I think this was Geiger shot Tim.
Okay.
So Lewis went bunkered out patient, and then Geiger shot Tim. So Zach Geiger steps up, gets a 2-pack here.
Great job.
Yeah, to keep the Ironman in this match. Still a lot of time left, man. We played 6 points. There's still 8 minutes left.
Infamous threw that point away. It was a 5-on-3 there for a few minutes. Sloppy play.
Yeah, beautiful job by Geiger. When the chaos went down. So Lewis goes through, bunkers out patient. Geiger shoots Tim Brusselback, and then shoots Brett Messer.
Huge.
And he also must have known the count because as soon as he did that, gun down, just jogged right in to hit that buzzer. So Geiger, not only did he make those efficient kills, but also
had the count right.
Yeah, he had the count right, which is ideal.
Look at the big brain on Geiger.
Zach, let's go again.
Got some paintball legend coaching the Ironman right now with Mike Paxson and Shane Pestana.
Combined 600 years of paintball experience. Shock and Notorious. Let's see if Notorious can turn this around. The only guy I see consistently getting shot is the guy going to the can on the D side. That guy's getting shot or bounced quite a bit. Shock drops 2. Notorious drops 1. 4-on-3 advantage for Notorious.
Yeah, Thomas Kim and A-Rod walking off for Shock. Magic comes through, bunkers out. Hosky.
Yeah. Notorious just needs to go down the snake side. That's another kill from Corey Hall. Only LJ Parrish, only player left alive for Aftershock. Looks like Notorious is going to win this point with 4-on-1 here.
Yeah, Johnson talking it up. He's on to Aftershock side of the field, trying to get that crossfield shot. I was going to say, just hit the deck and crawl up.
Yep, make it easy.
So they get that kill on Parrish with 3 bodies alive. Dyer's going to go hit the buzzer. And now we got ourselves a 1-point game. This is a good look for Notorious because Shock's a tough team to beat right now. And again, Notorious is down a bunch of starters. They don't have their most vicious attacker, Archie Barnes Jr. Congrats to their family. They just had a kid. No Ty Bateman. Marky Franz is a little injured, but he's playing through it. So tough dude. And then they had to pick up Francisco, who's ranked D3. And then they got Magic coming over from from Poland. That's a long trip. But they're looking pretty solid considering they've had some hits to their line.
For sure. Basically a new lineup,
Because
right?
Bateman and ABJ,
starters.
I mean, those are starters, core starters. Those guys are good. So, yeah, man, this is a pretty good look here.
Just
they could find a way to get a win.
Shows they got a really good program, right, where they can just plug in new bodies.
10 seconds.
All right, so the Ironmen, a little help from Geiger in that last one here, staying in this match with 8 minutes to go. Body drop in from Infamous.
Looks like Andy, maybe. Ironman onto Infamous' side. Oh, he overslid and got shot in the foot. Otherwise, we'd had a free kill inside. Ironman dropping to 4-on-3 advantage here for Infamous.
Attack them on that D side, though, for the Ironmen as they get DeVitt to the wedge, and they also dive a body into D2.
Geiger
Kyle.
the snake again for Ironman. Infamous gets another kill. 4-on-2 advantage, Infamous.
But it looks like Kyle getting shot out of D2. So just Keith DeVitt and Zach Geiger on the field here currently for the Ironmen. I mean, for Infamous right now, Rich, it would probably be a good idea in this 4-on-2 situation in a 2-point lead. Obviously, you want to win the point. Maybe try to burn a little of that clock off.
Much as possible, man. Let's just work on our communication. Let's work on putting pressure on the Ironman, force the Ironman to try to make a mistake or concede. Nope, they're going to run down the field and bunker him out.
Yeah, you got to let Silberg eat. Sam Silberg coming through.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. I guess they don't let him eat between tournaments, so he's just fasting the whole time. And then when he gets to tournament, he's just famished.
He's getting pretty good, man. Sam was, he was a star on level, and then then they brought actually Silberg over, and then that was, him and Danny leaving was kind of the coffin nail for that crew.
Yeah. The death nail.
But
Thanks, guys.
but Silberg was a standout on level. That's when we first started having to remember his name.
Yep.
And he's been a real big boost to the offense here on a team full of offensive players. So, I mean, to get a starting nod on Infamous with the wheels they got and the aggression they got, that means you're getting pretty good.
I know, I'm saying, all I'm getting is story time. I know you're saying it, I'm just not getting it.
Ryan Hall and Joe Barrett
I know you're saying it. I'm just not hearing it.
having a little communication conversation. So jumping into this next one here with just a 1-point lead for Shock now.
Yeah.
As Notorious has been gritty.
Shock with a little different look there, too. They went 3 out of back center. Didn't shoot anybody, but different look.
Man, these Snake
4 on 4.
players, Rich, are going to get brutalized.
Yeah.
This
This is kind of like an old school Snake here.
Yeah, every time you come, because you have to go bunker the guy if he's there. And then when you do that, you're probably going to trade with him, and then you're going to get shot half dozen times from maybe even a little bit more. So, yeah, because Magic just wore at least about 10. Yeah, they also lost Burgess as well, too. So down to 3 bodies here for Notorious.
3 on 4 advantage for Shock. Shock's again got 2 guys in the back center, back line in the Snake Temples, Tom's Kim. Looks like in the Dorito side can, the center south electronics bunker, and then that D3 over there. So good field position for Aftershock. Notorious a slight advantage here, Snake side. They got a better field position, but they're down a body. Tom's Kim's kind of on island here for Aftershock. Cannot die, because if he dies, it'll allow Notorious to come down this tape.
Good communication from both squads here. Communication's always important. It's one of the most important things in the game. But when you have a blind layout in a field where you're going to be probably dropping some bodies pretty quick, sometimes at the same time, it becomes even more important.
Crucial, right? The teams that don't play as a team out here together, the teams that are forced to just play, kind of one-on-one paintball, are at a huge disadvantage. Thomas Kim, good read, gets out to the corner now into Snake 2 for Aftershock moving forward.
Yeah, Johnson aggressive getting into this 50-yard line, even down a body. But they need it. They're the ones that need to push into their.
Oh, he got shot going in. Great cost shot there from Corey Hall. Makes the kill, calls the kill. Notorious dropping another 4-on-1 advantage for Shock. Notorious should probably concede this point.
Yeah, so going to throw the Talon, preserve the time, down by 2. But these points are going so fast that they still have, just a little under 6 to go. 5:48, 4:46, right around there. Infamous starting to stack up a little bit of a lead from the Ironmen.
Well, I'd like to, kind of like we talked about yesterday, I'd like to see the Ironmen switch gears and just start playing offensive here, right? Get those 3 guys that they have on the back line forward.
They have the personnel to do that.
They've got all the weapons. Send that fast kid through, have Geiger follow him up, and then have someone follow Geiger up.
Yeah, so it's going to be Sense, Guest, O'Mara, and is Lewis going to get another? Geiger and Lewis, yeah.
And you know what's sorry, Matty. You know what's unusual is we never really talk about a match where O'Mara and Sense are playing and we're not bringing up their names, right? Like they haven't been a part of this match yet. They haven't got any key kills. They haven't stayed alive. 4-on-5 advantage for Infamous as the ref runs in to check another Infamous player.
Well, the Ironman's starting to push the issue on the D side, but it cost him Tom Guest's life as he got shot trying to get into D3. So good zone control now from Infamous. If they switch gears a bit as Ryan Hall does take the early walk.
4-on-4, Matty.
Yeah, great field position, though, for the Ironman. Even losing Guest, and they get a shot.
Zach Patient.
Yeah, Zach Patient taking the walk from the D side.
4-on-3 advantage for the Ironman. No one D side for Infamous. This might allow the Ironman to turn that corner on the D side, man.
And Rich, there's no one in the Snake either. And this is, 3 bodies left alive, but they have no outside containment at all. They're all kind of essentially in the same line.
Yeah.
So not ideal.
You do not want to be sitting in the pocket when there's people on both tapes. You're just waiting to die, and there goes another one. Callie taking the walk. I list a small Temple Snake, leaving only 2 players left alive. And although Infamous has a 2-point lead here, obviously, they don't want to lose these points. Joe Barrett taking a walk now. 4-on-1 advantage, Ironman.
Just Jonah Jamrose out here.
Wheeling and dealing, about to get shot in the back.
Yeah, they're not conceding it. They're letting Jonah see if he can create some magic. It's not going to happen, though. Yes, still no concession from him. I think Infamous just wants to maybe burn a little of that clock.
Yeah, they're up by 2, right?
Yeah, they're up by, going to still be up by 2. They were up by 3. and 5:22 left.
Oh, that buzzer's just not working. Referee's over there pounding it. Hot Rod's going to get the call.
Yeah, so that makes more sense, right? Because I'm like, why is Infamous? I mean, again, as we say sometimes, we joke around, like, did Jonah miss practice? I mean,
Why do they hate that kid?
yeah,
so
why
much?
do they hate him so much? This is going to hurt. But apparently,
Toughen him up a little bit.
bit of a malfunction with the concession buzzer.
I snuck a couple of their cookies yesterday. They were amazing.
Hey, would you slow? Hey, once that shit goes down, would you slow down a little bit over there? Yeah. Hey, let's go again. Are you good, or you want to find another one?
So Coach Mike asking for them to slow it down a little bit when the craziness sets in. I do kind of like that because, look, we want Ironmen to play offense, right? They need to. They're down points. But also, if things are going well, you don't want your guys just running into guns.
You know, throwing away bodies,
Yeah.
right? It's you know, we say it 1,000 times before, but it's really, especially in this field, it's read and react, right? You can't have a perfect game plan out here. You can't guess what the other team's going to do all the time. You've got to be able to go out there, see what happens on the break, get your information out to your guys, and make quick decisions on what gives you the biggest advantage. Aftershock, losing one out of back center, Corey Hall, but shoots 2, so 4-on-3 advantage for Aftershock.
Thought they might be losing Johnson out of the snake, but
Yeah,
he's
no,
good
you got to
go.
check.
They are going to be losing Dyer.
Yeah, so it's a 2-on-4, I believe, as Shock is sharking up the field. I actually only see one Notorious player.
Well, Notorious going to concede. Yeah, I think we're going to set records for points played on this layout because it's about to be 6-3, and there's still 5:27 left.
We're record breakers.
Well, you know, it's going to be relatively hot this weekend, depending on where you're from.
Yeah.
You know, when I talk
Depending on your
when I talk to
perspective.
the Southern boys or the Texans or somebody from Florida, they're like 87, bro. That's not hot. That's going to be great. I'm cool with that. It's also not that humid here.
That's sweater weather.
Yeah, whereas you talk to somebody from somewhere else, they're like, oh, God, it's going to be a little hot. But the point is if we're going to play a lot of points out here, if you're playing 10, 11 points every match you play.
You get worn out.
Yeah.
Especially if you played an extra day of paintball yesterday.
Yeah, since we did have to conclude the Lone Star Major yesterday. So if you played yesterday, yeah, just how deep is your team? It's, you know, so Legion took the win, right? But as soon as you move away from that starting 5, if something happens or they get too fatigued, slight little pull hamstring, whatever, and you have to go to that bench. So we will see. Jump into this next one here.
Notorious with dropping their Dorito attacker, Matty. 5-on-4 advantage for Ironman. No, 5-on-3 for Infamous.
No, Infamous.
I mean, sorry.
Infamous losing 2 though.
Yeah. 5-on-3 advantage for Ironman here. Infamous down 2 bodies, shot 1 on the break. Another guy got quit. Oh, Ironman lose a body. 4-on-3 advantage as Geiger presses forward into the snake. Does that guy get shot going into the snake, Matty, on the cross shot? Infamous down to 2 players left alive, I believe. The snake corner and the Dorito can. Ironman drop another body, and Zach Geiger, though, bodies just dropping left and right, Matty. I believe it's a 2-on-2 or 3-on. Oh, nope.
And then another one too. They
Yeah,
dropped
now
that
it's a-
other body from the middle towards the D side.
Yeah, 2-on-2 now. Ironman kind of squandering a big body advantage there.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'm going to have to hold back some criticism because these guys haven't played this field yet, so there's a lot of these little angles that they may not know because this is the first game they've played out here.
Me being contrarian,
Yes, of course you are.
I'm going to say, no, these guys are professional paintball players. They should figure it out. Listen, if you get shot on the break, you get shot on the break. But if you make your bunker and you get shot out, we got to talk. 2-on-2, and this possibly could be Saturday evening or Sunday afternoon paintball where you have, 1 or 2 guys on each tape, kind of deep on the field, trying to figure out where the other guy is, basically trying not to make a mistake, not trying to make any big moves. I think it is a race to this 50 snake over here, but once that area clears out, then it's who plays the best paintball, right?
Yeah, so things have slowed down a little bit in this 2-on-2 situation.
Ironmen try to creep up that D side.
Well, again, with Infamous, they have this lead to protect, so it will be up to the Ironmen to try to figure a way to move up this field. And Infamous is in decently defensible positions. I was just going to say that can is tough, though, and Ryan Hall gets cyclopsed.
Yeah, he should have got out of there earlier. 2-on-1 advantage for the Ironmen. Is that Tom Guest going through the middle?
Yeah, here comes Tom Guest. Trying to put the pinch on this last body. Joe Barrett, back corner.
Joe Barrett in a tough spot. Gets caught over the top, down the tape.
So Henry Sent's going to finish off Joe Barrett. And the Ironmen claw their way to only being down 1 right now with 2 minutes left to go. So this game, this is a pretty good one here.
But 8 points in is the first time we said Henry Sent's name other than me saying Henry Sent's name based on the fact that we hadn't said Henry Sent's name.
Well, he had a little bit of an inconsistent day yesterday because he was their hero in one of their games. And then had a couple early deaths. I mean, it's paintball, man. You're going to get shot. But, yeah, if the Ironmen want to go deep at this tournament, he's one of their core guys.
For sure.
That guy basically never comes off the field, and rightfully so.
He's always in a position to help win or keep you from losing the point. He's always in that key pivotal role. O'Mara, again, kind of on the same level, and we haven't said his name either. Said Tom Guest's name quite a few times. Geiger, Nikolai.
Yeah, again, you can be bad cop, I'll be good cop. It's just, again, blind layout. Who's going to excel at this? We don't know. Everyone's just learning these angles, and it's just such a different mindset when you've had, again, 60, 70 spins
minimum
on a layout.
Yeah.
And then now you're getting, okay, what are we, 9 spins in?
9 spins in. It's the same, basically. I also like the blind layout, too, because it forces you to have all those fundamental skills, right? You don't have to just be good at one job or two job where the coach can kind of plug you in. Hey, on this layout, you do this well. On this layout, you do this well.
Yeah.
I like it where, hey, no matter what the layout is, you should have those skills to be able to read and react and play accordingly.
I'm a big fan of the blind layouts.
Yeah, me too.
So
Tom Cole just keeps messing us every year. Notorious dropping their first attacker up the center, Matty. 5-on-4 advantage for Shock as two other Notorious players get checked. One is eliminated, so 3-on-5 advantage here for Shock. Shock pushing up the middle. Oh, first person we've seen in that center structure. See how well this plays out. Oop, Notorious loses that snake guy. That hurt.
Yeah, it's looking not good for Notorious here in this point and in the game because, Shock really starting to build up this lead.
Yeah, it's a 5-on-2. Probably concede. I know you're down on points, but you probably concede this point, right?
I think so.
You want to save a little time, and you don't want your guys getting punished if you can avoid it, right? If you're up on points, you got to make them, eat it and suck it. Now it's 5-on-1. Definitely should concede this point.
Nope. It's going to let it play out. Now, spread is also, we got to start talking about spread.
Yeah.
We didn't need to talk about it yesterday because, it was a Sunday tournament. But you have to manage your point spread. So basically what that means is you have 4 games to work with, and 5 teams in each bracket to move on as the top seeds, and then you get 2 wild cards. Historically, you need to be around 2 wins and 2 losses with,
+2.
Yeah, +2, +3 ideally, and then you'll be safe. And so I think that's what we're seeing right now. So Notorious doesn't want to squander this game or this spread and let it get out of hand, because if you take a mercy rule loss, you have to go back and get a mercy rule win in order just to get to even. And again, in even's not going to that's not going to work. So that's what we're seeing here. So
Chicago's throwing them kind of a bone, right? Because for me, on a no layout field, I want to get my guys as many spins on this first match or second match as I can. If I'm Shock, I'm like, hey, sorry guys, like I know you guys are trying to protect your margin, but I'm trying to learn this field. I want to get 5 more spins.
Rich, I hate saying this, but you're right.
Oh my God, Weber, write that down. Darren, write it down.
That's a very good point, my friend. Very good point. Yeah, if you're Shock, not only that, but if I'm Shock, you got to be careful because Notorious looked pretty tough in those first ones. But if my guys are starting to feel it, we're starting to figure the field out, I would love to get a mercy rule win on Notorious.
Yes.
Because again, they are down some starters. And so if they may get mercy rule by some other team.
I was gonna say, and there's the softest team in your division, right? So there's a chance that someone's gonna do the same thing to you.
Well, technically, on paper, the ML Kings are the softest team in that division. Because so it's Heat, Aftershock, Damage, Notorious, and ML Kings. And when you're looking at these divisions, the top teams are the top teams for a reason. They've been playing well through the first 2 events. But if Notorious and ML Kings are good at this event, then that's what makes the bracket very hard. But at the last event, we did see 3 of the top 4 teams from the first event not even make it to Sunday.
I doubt that'll happen again.
Which
those
now
are
means
crazy times.
Which now means it's happening.
Obviously. Ironman breaking out from blue side, Infamous from the red. Both teams going to that center wing there that they used to transition into the 50 snake. Interesting that both of those guys in the wings are looking D side now instead of looking snake side, which they've traditionally been doing. Infamous losing their first player D side map, 5-on-4 advantage for the Ironmen. Looks like the game is starting to slow down a little bit, Matty. We're starting to see people playing these back rows.
Yeah, they're figuring out the angles a little bit more. Oh, but another body drops, and it's Tom Guest getting shot trying to move up.
Yeah.
I think that was Sam Silberg taking the early walk, and that's a great kill when you're playing Infamous these days.
Yeah.
Try to get that early shot on Sam.
For sure.
So the battle going down in the snake. As soon as somebody shoots their gun, probably the other guy's going to run him down. It's the new kid, Brody Lewis, in the snake for the Ironman.
Yeah, and he's had no problem getting there. He's gotten there every single point. He's just got to figure out how to kill someone and stay alive. So far, he's been trading out.
He's been very proactive in here.
Which, you know, Shane's not going to hate a trade, right? If you can go up there and get a guy every point, Shane's going to be happy with that. 2 players taking a walk now, 1 for Memphis, 1 for Ironman. 3-on-3 battle now. Infamous a little bit more defensive postures in the Snake Temple, Dorito Can, and the Sentinel Temple with Ryan Hall.
Yeah, a little bit better field position. Well,
Yeah.
now much better. It's getting a lot better for the Ironmen as they get that body in the snake, so they have the body up in the middle. And now that middle is rough if there's a body in the 50 snake, but if there's no one in the 50 snake and you got your opponents trapped in the back line or in the pocket, then the middle gets a lot better.
Yeah, that middle sucks. There's 9 bunkers up there that hardly anyone's ever going to use.
Well, the position that they're in right now, the Ironmen, you can hide from the body in the Hertz 50 snake
100%.
from that side, but not on the other side and not at the actual 50 brick that's in the middle.
And no one's figured out any bounce shots yet.
But yeah, but when you don't have, like, when you own that real estate, then the middle gets way more playable. So Amaro's trying to get creative in here and figure out what he wants to do in that middle. He's got the body at the 50 snake right beside him.
Yeah, just got to try to figure out how to get from your 40 into their 40. Looks like he got shot going in. Looks like he kind of forced that move. We'll see.
Yeah, but he's trying to create right now. There's only 40 seconds left. They're down by 1. They got to try to make something happen, but it's going to be a penalty assessed there on Omara.
Yeah,
and that is probably going to be the coffin nail. It looks like Sense is going to walk off as well, too, and that should do it. So that's going to stop the clock at 30 seconds, but it's going to give Infamous a 2-point spread. So we're going to see one more point, and the Ironmen might be able to, you can score a point in 30 seconds to make it, their spread a little bit better, but most likely Infamous is going to take this win.
Yeah. Amar not knowing he got shot there. The referee was signaling from the sidelines, but Amar continued to crawl forward, continued to improve his position. So when the ref ran in, they had to give him that penalty. Aftershock coming back out with Notorious. Aftershock with a nice, soft 4-point lead. No pressure on them. They can kind of use this as an opportunity to maybe figure out, hey, let's see if that game plan we were talking about, let's see if that works, right? We can go and lose a point here if we have to. We don't want to, obviously, but it gives us a cushion to be able to try some different things out. Can we run through the middle? Can we take Snake on the break? Can we take a big bite D side? Shock 5 across the back.
Notorious right back into the snake.
Oh, Husky gets shot going from the snake corner to snake 1. Got shot from that center tower. That center tower is such a good spot because you can catch that guy crawling in that snake because the middle of the field's so low.
Especially if you got a tall guy there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Nick Sloviak, Tom Guest, people of this stature, maybe Vince, should be in that tower shooting down into those cuts. Shock.
Yeah.
Shock dropping another one.
Yeah, another body coming off for Shock from that D side. Al Fernandez getting a spin and taking the walk.
Notorious with 3 players up on the 40/50 now, Matty.
Well, Notorious can put this point up on the board, take it back to a 3-point spread, and then maybe get one more 2-point spread. That's not a terrible loss, right?
Yeah, Notorious just drops 2 bodies, Matt, with sloppily going into the 2 guns, and they allow LJ Parrish to get from the can out to Dorito 1. A-Rod still in the back center for Shock. Went from a 5-on-2 to now a 3-on-1.
Yeah, Parrish still alive. He got outside wide into D1.
And
more defensible position.
He's wheeling and dealing out there.
I just saw something spray off of him, though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So referee going to get him, pull him out, and they're going to pull a minor
penalty.
penalty.
Started down a body. So they got nowhere to pull. It's not going to affect the score any.
Well,
I mean, it's not going to change the outcome of the game.
Well, yeah,
Notorious might get another
Shock's
point.
going to win this one. It will be a win, but again, if you're sitting on a 4-point spread, so for instance, they didn't let them run all that clock off. They let them run a little bit of the clock off just to kind of give themselves less time in case it goes bad, but it went well for them. Spread's getting a little bit more manageable. Now the Ironmen, Shock's going to be down a body here, it looks like. So they're going to be, Notorious going to be on a power play. So they could get out of this with a loss, but with only a 2-point loss.
100%. Now this is a close match, 4-5.
The Ironman Infamous match?
4-6.
Yeah, 4-6.
Just 2 points, not much time left though. Ironman's back kind of against the wall here. Like to see some of that Tom Guest heroics going through the center of the field and see if he can draw some guns and make something happen.
Maybe Geiger or Lewis snake side.
Yeah, 100% Geiger, 50 snake on the break. Guest right through the middle. Nikolai, Dorito 3.
It's going to be Lewis and Geiger behind him, so that seems to be the package for the Ironman on the snake side. But here comes the big push on the D side as bodies dropping from both teams. A penalty, red. I see a red flag. I see a yellow flag.
Lots of flags.
Yeah, so flags, both those penalties, looks like on the Ironman. Might have been the same penalty, though. Geiger's still alive.
Yeah, 1-on-2 advantage.
Just 13 seconds left to go. Geiger does get shot,
Yeah.
but there was a major, I believe, and that's going to stop the clock. So there's going to be 16 seconds left. It's going to throw Infamous another point. Not how Ironman wanted things to go. You got to stay away from those majors when you're under 60 seconds. A major penalty under 60 seconds, immediate swing point.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake there.
In the pits right now with Infamous.
We're back up. I'm just gonna stay out there. Hey, the other team's up. The other team's up. Brian's ready to go, dude. Same prize to be ready to go. Joe, you good? It should be a 16-second point. 16 seconds? I'm good. Hey, same 5, get ready right now. Same 5, get ready.
Where? Come past the Viper? No, he never. He got to it and stayed there, and I shot him in the face.
Listen, Chop's gonna figure it out. Just get ready to go, please. That way, if he calls your name, we're ready to go.
Then someone dropped it over.
The guy ran the shot on the corner.
Oh yeah, because he's passing baby and he ran.
Listen,
Just get jump on the side here.
9 seconds. Execute.
So Ryan Hall saying 9 seconds.
Yeah, Brett said 16, now someone else saying 20. So clearly we don't know exactly how much time is left, but somewhere in that range.
It looked, I mean, of those 3, I thought Brett was right, but who knows?
He's definitely the smartest of the 3.
hey, what have you guys? We can make him play because they had to
20 seconds.
It should be more time.
10 seconds.
Drag your ass back out there. I'm ready.
I'm fucking ready too. Let's go. Listen, I'm ready to go.
So a minute and 40 still left in this one. As Shock on the blue side now. They're going with Hosky again. And able to get Paris. Paris has been doing a good job of staying alive and getting out up on that D side.
For sure.
Like the look we're seeing from Paris here in game 1 on this blind layout.
And I like that he's up on his feet, right? A lot of guys jump in those Doritos and just sit down and get super tight and lose all that vision standing up like that. Notorious, though, goes out to Snake Corner into Snake 2 now, Maddie. Only person on the Snake side.
Yeah, Magic out into Snake 1. Crawling into Snake 2. Posting up down that sideline, got a body in front of them at the 50-yard line. So they're pushing the issue here to try to, again, keep the spread a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, and, it's only a 3-point spread, and they've had 2 points that they lost from penalties, where a guy got shot and then they lost another guy. Oh, it went right past Hosky. Went from a great move to a terrible move.
Yeah, and again, Shock started this point down a body because of that penalty on Parrish.
4-on-4 here. They got Ryan Hosky playing inside defensively on that wing, and nobody expected that. They expected him to be in that 50 hertz bunker, so when they went to bunker him, there was nobody there. Just threw away that body. Notorious drops another body, D-side, Maddie, so 3-on-4 advantage here for Shock.
Down to 30 seconds. Magic up and over the top on his tippy toes. Pretty tall guy, can play over that brick. As Shock's going to move a body out. Back corner bunker, snake side. Notorious pushing the issue D-side. They get to the 50-yard line. And able to pinch out Hosky, couldn't stay alive from that angle. Magic's going to cut to the inside. He gets blasted.
Yeah.
Thomas Kim dicing people up from that back corner.
Yeah, Shock still got 3 across the back line. Dorito corner, Snake corner, back center. LJ Parrish releases from Dorito 1, Dorito 2.
Yeah, but the time just expires, and Shock going to take, 3-point win here, 7-4. Going to be the final score.
Not a bad look for either of those teams.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're just joining us, Notorious is missing 3 of their starters, 2 of the real core ones. No Ty Bateman, no Archie Barnes Jr. And so, I mean, the fact that this game was as contested as it was in the beginning, I mean, they're 5 still getting it done. The roster's still getting it done. So, but Shock did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Learn the field a bit. And yeah, I mean, I like what we're seeing out of Parrish for Shock on that D side. Sure, he got that penalty, but there's no way. I saw someone break off of him, and the ref probably saw that too. That's why he got that penalty. But there's no way Parrish is the last guy left alive, experienced guy like that, is going to feel that hit
and play
when they have a lead.
Right.
That's just not a mistake you're going to see Parrish make. So probably legitimately did not feel that one. There's Parrish and Hosky.
And he's like, legitimately, guys, I didn't feel it.
Hey, everybody listen up real quick. Hey, way to fucking come and play on a fucking field where we gotta know what the fuck idea is going on. Okay? Way to fucking execute, hold that shit, and fucking play together.
Yep.
Alright?
Hey, Rod, good call on the switch. That was a good setup. Thought I just played low
Hey,
there.
you're blowing up paint, right?
Hey,
Didn't stop shooting.
It's just cool tail. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Cool. Like, hey,
I look over and I saw you blowing up.
feel my gun.
Okay, I trust you. I just saw a flamethrower come down. I was like, we might see different paint.
And
I'm like, hey.
pretty happy Aftershock, as always, parental advisory. When we cut to the pits, and I thought we were going to get another point from this infamous Ironman match, but it looks like we are not. I think they must have been under 10. Looks like they're going to burn it off. Neither team wanted to play it, so that's going to do it here. Infamous taking a win over the Ironmen, and Aftershock handling Notorious. Next up is going to be Tampa Bay Damage taking on the ML Kings. Impact playing New York Extreme here, 2024. First day of competition at the Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall with Rich Telford here on Go Sports. We'll be right back.
There was only one on the ground.
Yeah.